Welcome back. I'm Billy Hallowell, and we are here today with Marcus Gill. He's the founder of Marcus Gill International. How's it going today?
Doing great, Billy. How about you?
I'm doing well. So we've got a lot to talk about here, and you have been a pastor, you're a speaker, you're an author, you are out there, and you've been putting out a lot of very interesting videos lately. And I saw one the other day, and that's why I wanted to talk with you in light of everything that's going on in the country right now. And it was about stereotypes. And so
hmm
I guess before we get to the video, though, I want to hear how you're doing in the midst of all of this, because you're in a unique position. You're a pastor, again, you're dealing with
hmm
ministry, and you're a Black man in America right now dealing with the issues that we've talked about. And you and I have talked a lot about this. What has it
hmm
been like for you in this era over the last month?
It has been extremely difficult because, hey, listen, pretty much all of my conscious life, I've been able to, be on both sides of this thing. I grew up in a military home. We're called military brats. I'm sure you heard of them. So I've always had friends of every race, every nationality, every background. In fact, my best friend growing up was a dude from Korea. All right, I don't know if it was north or south, but he was a Korean guy, man. And so I've always lived this diversified life. And the difficulty is not only in me seeing, the devastation, especially the recent George Floyd video, and of course the others where there are these unanswered questions about what really happened. That's not the only measure of my pain. The measure of my pain comes because I have such a diversified life. I have diversified friendships. I preach in all churches, Black churches, white churches. I've preached in some Chinese-speaking churches, Spanish-speaking churches, and of course, multiracial ministries. And so the difficulty has been trying to have a balance to really let all of my friends understand, friends and family understand that, listen, I get both sides. And I think that's the hardest thing in this season, especially being a pastor. Shout out to all the pastors that are pastoring multiracial churches, because there once upon a time, everybody was dreaming like, oh, I want to have a multiracial church. And we have the famous saying, I want a church that looks like heaven. That sounds so good. And you see it. And then you come into times like these. And I think the hardest churches to pastor right now are churches that have multiracial crowds. So it's been a difficult season, but I have hope. I believe we're going to get past this and things are going to be better than they've ever been before in our country.
How do you balance, right? The other element of this is when you're a faith leader, people are looking at you, right? And you're out there. You've got over 2 million followers on Facebook. You are out there and you're putting videos out and people know you. And so how do you balance that responsibility as a pastor to deal with the spiritual elements of things, with the emotions you have as a human being in light of the things that have happened, with the things you want to see happen and move forward in society? How do you strike that balance in your position?
Well, it's exactly what you said. I cannot approach this thing emotionally. I can be real about the fact that I do get emotional, but I can release a message of encouragement that will help and bless people without it being an emotionally based message. I really believe in the God of the Bible. I'm sticking to that no matter what. I know times are changing and everybody wants to have different ideas and ideologies, but I really stick with the Bible. And the word of the Lord gives us the inspiration to literally get through anything. I always go to Jesus in John 16:33, where he said, in this world, we're going to have trials. We're going to have tribulations. We're going to have wars. We're going to have battles. We're going to have race wars. We're going to have viruses. All kinds of drama is going to happen, man. And these things are going to be painful. He gave us this warning. But this is where I remind people. He said, be of good cheer. It doesn't make any sense at all. But Jesus would say, be of good cheer in the middle of a race war. Be of good cheer in the middle of a pandemic. Be of good cheer. Seriously? But he says, I've overcome the world. So my job is to constantly remind people that the life we live is not a life of just responding to what happens in this world and just doing what everybody else does and feeling how everybody else feels. Even though you're hurting, he says, be of good cheer because he's already overcome. And if we're going to be believers, we've got to truly believe what the word says, that he has already taken care of this.
Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching The First on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.